Hello everyone, this is GFBubba18, Godfather Bubba, and we're back with the old Bezerk Gundam. Well, you gotta love that, just the whole visor. So, let me just do the paint really quickly. So, all I did was, the only thing I painted really was just the soldiers. Shoulders. Just did a little white and blue, and yeah, I did a little decals, but not really like great. Oh, and this little white and this little white here. Nothing really too special. Anything else I painted? Panel lined, and I just want to get that out of the way quickly. Decals, lots of decals. I did paint the rail guns, and I painted the handles of the tomahawks, and I think that's about it. And decals on the knees, and decals on the shield and sword bits. Oh, and I painted the Bezerk rifles. Came out pretty good, actually. I mean, they are pretty, one's really bad, one's really good, but you know, that's one of those things. And GN Sword's got some decals. I don't know if you can see it all. Decals on the arms, but that's not the whole point. This, I just wanted to get out of the way first, because then I'll get into the articulation later. It's basically the same. The only thing that I changed was the whole knee. I added the old Quanta knee with the whole backs, whatever that is, like the back of the leg flap, and the little knee pad I added here, because I mean that looks pretty good. Like, you have to admit that it just goes along perfectly, because like full strike, you think of like full armor, like, you know. So yeah, and now let's get to, well, you might be wondering why the strike pack and the riser isn't on there and the full saber. Well, I did this because I thought it would be really cool, because when I read the riser wiki, Gundam wiki, I don't know how accurate that is, you know what I mean. I read and it had the bit control system, and you know me, I love bits. Oh god, I would love to marry a bit. I'm just kidding, that would be really weird. Let's bring it in. The full strike riser, or the FS riser, if you want to call it that. Yeah, look at this thing. It's got the full saber, the strike pack, and everything. So let me get an aerial view of it. Not bad. Okay. And let's bring it back so you guys can see the whole thing. I mean, it's pretty long, but I mean that's just because of that sword bit on the end. So what I did was I took, for the Hanuk Gundam, it came for the full strike, or the full saber kit, and I put, let me see if I can zoom in, I put modeling putty. Let's see if I can get it a little better. So I made modeling putty, and I just stuck it in there while I was still drying, and I shaved off the excess crap. Let me see, I think it did leave some stuff on there. I don't know if you can see it. It's not that big of a deal. I painted over it too, so I mean it's pretty absent. I sanded it down, got rid of it all, so it's all good. Yeah, but just look at that. Look how awesome that looks. It's like, it's kind of slanted, I know, but I mean if I do this, hang on. Yep. Here goes a what are these gun blade bits? So yeah, now it looks like it's coming at you, so it can go where it's coming at you. This whole thing can launch too. Not the connector. All of them can still deploy, along with the 8 dragoons of the strike pack. I don't know why. This one always just wants to come off. I painted it really... I did Gundam marker, and then I painted it over it, and then I did Gundam marker again. I don't know why I did 3 coats, and still doesn't want to go in. And that's like a thick coat. I used Games Workshop Skull White. Don't know why. It just didn't want to stay in there. But anyways, let's just hope it stays in there. And so this thing has 2 GN drives. So this doesn't have Trans Am ability. It has just high speed, really. So it's just more high speed and can last longer in the field. Most of it is not really designed for full frontal assault. It's more of just a support like weapon. This thing will just fly around and it will just deploy all these bits and have them fire around. It has no close range abilities except for the sword bits, and those don't really go that far. Most of the time, if he wants to go through it, he just has to dive through, and what happens is GN particles are converted into the GN converter. Yes, I did say converter. It's the GN Tau Drive 2.0. I wanted to make it really cool, so I was like, well, if the Full Saber Pack gave me a GN drive, I'm going to put it on here and say, So, also what I did was I used putty to kind of sand it down. It's kind of smooth now. I mean, it's got some nooks and crannies that are really bad. But what it does is, if you've ever seen Code Geass, it's kind of like, well, during Bezerk mode, it kind of has the same ability as the Lancelot. I forget what the name is, like for the last Lancelot, where it's like the really cool one with the wings. See what happens? Don't play around with this, kids. Oh god, this thing's a pain somewhat, but I mean it's pretty cool. I mean, if you have it just right, and if this thing was perfect, it would be pretty cool. Like, I mean, I would sell it. Like, I would make custom models and sell them, just like manufacture them and sell them, make them really cool. I think that would be a really fun job, don't you guys think? And let me just fix this. Okay, come on. Come on. Come on, little boy, you can do it. The train that couldn't. Alright, there we go. Alright. Anyways. So overall, this thing has, let's see, it's got the 4, because I wanted to make the huge blade, this blade right up here. I don't know, let me see if I can rotate this without having anything fall down. This huge blade, I want that to be a bit, just because, you know what, I don't want the thing just hanging on there and this thing just wasted. But where was I? God, I am so off track today. I'm tired. Actually, I just woke up, so, you know, it's whatever. You guys don't care. You guys care more about my model. Anyways, GN Converter, what it does is it convert, if you've seen the Lancelot, where it shoots out the little beams, it's basically a beam span from hell. Like, it just launches out beams from its wings and just destroys everything. Yeah, I wanted that on this, so, also, it can, only time it can use that ability is when it's in Bezerk mode on the Bezerk Full Strike Bezerk Gundam. And as you saw before in the last video, it kind of does that, and it just, all bits are deployed, nothing's on there. I just didn't want to make a whole stand for every bit, because that would be ridiculous amount of time, and I've already taken 3 months on this, and I want to get on and start on the next one, which I've showed you before. I'll give you a little hint. Wing Gundam and Unicorn Gundam. Oh yeah. Even though a lot of people are probably doing that and just laughing at me for thinking of something really original. But anyways. That's about it. Just, oh, and it has kind of like the GN field. It's mostly a GN field generator. Really not very strong. It's long lasting, but it's anything like the Cherdum blast, like a Cherdum rifle blast would destroy it. So anything like a a GNX3 or what is it, like GNX or something like that. Yeah, that wouldn't break through it. But if it was like the Gigasa or whatever the big innovate cannon was for that one model, that could definitely go through it. That thing would just be easily go through it and kill it. Cannot deflect beam sabers. It's not really that strong on the full strike riser. And these light bulbs are probably really hot, and I'm probably really stupid for, yeah, they are really hot. God, I'll just do it with my shirt. And I want to show you it in the whole, burning through my shirt. Alright, well, I'm just gonna have to man through it, guys. Okay, there we go. And I just wanted to show you everything in black light. I'm going to do that for all this whole model. I'm going to show you black light. So you can't really tell. Let me get it really closer now. So it has everything going in a nice glow. Don't really care for this one, as more for the glow. Wasn't really meant for this one to be on display, really. Maybe once in every while. But everything's paneled and panel lined and coated with that UV marker that I told you about. Don't remember the name, but whatever, who cares. And that's about it. Oh, and also the sword bits will do the same thing as the tomahawks, where they will just spin around and they'll just go zzz and drill through. So it's not really where it will stab, it's more of a drill. I mean, it's okay, but and I wish they would put this in the anime. So when it goes around, it fires also lasers, so it can stab, and then it can use the whole thing as the whole blade will, if it stabs through the GN drive, it will be like a GN, not really converter, just like leech. I don't know what you would call it, like a lightning rod, like a rod of GN particles. So we'll stab into the GN drive and we'll just fire up beams of lasers and try and use the whole other Gundam's whole mobile suit's GN drive to fire out lasers. So that's pretty cool. Like, you have to admit, that's pretty smart. And that's about it. I'm GFBO18, Godfather Bubba. I'll see you guys in the next review. And yes, I did see that from Prime 92.